So I've got I've got on test today the Panasonic, this one here, sat next to a Session 4, and I bought the Panasonic, I think AX whatever it is. It's like a large bullet shape, you know, perfectly round, to put into to actually see if I could get it to film down a rifle scope, because of its night vision type shooting. But you can't zoom it in, so you can't get the eye relief right, so I've got to try and work out something else to do with it. And the problem with it is, I don't know, in fact, well, I can't say what the problem with the actual camera is. All I can say is that normally I'd mount it on the front. I'd probably put a GoPro on the front as well, and look at them both side by side. The problem with it is that the mounts you get for it, they're a bit odd. So the mount it's on now, it's like a wrist mount. Yes, it's like a wrist mount. But I suppose the only problem with it is you've got to have, I don't know, the wrists of a 3-year-old for it to fit. It's tiny, so I've just managed to get it round a Garmin thing on the handlebar. You might get it on 3 or 4 fingers, but it's not a wrist mount. I'm not even sure it's called a wrist mount. So you get that with it. And you also get like a load of Velcro basically. Yes, you get two long. You get one strip of Velcro, male and female, and with that you then get some sort of double-sided, the 3M type tape that you tape to something. So in essence, you'd have a big long strip of Velcro taped to the side, stuck to the side of your helmet, and then the mount then stuck with Velcro on the side of your helmet. Just makes no sense. Yeah, and the other one, the one that's on now, well, I don't really get it, if I'm honest. I was looking for someone to mount it. I couldn't find anywhere. That's the only place I could find to mount it. I'd have to do a bit more work, but that would only be if the picture was very good. I would probably mount it then. But yeah, so on the mount front, it's a bit rubbish. Yeah, it's not good on the mount front. I think on my and I suppose the other thing, that if I'm using it here again with the session, I can see that it's recording, but with the Panasonic I can't. That's not an issue. I'm going to turn the session off actually. So this is what you get with the HX-A1. This is the HX-A1. So the camera itself has got, you can get a different I suppose back door, as it were. So an open one, so you can plug in the USB and leave it plugged in, and you get a sealed one, I suppose, which adds to the waterproofing.
the reason I bought it as well, you can take the front lens, I suppose, filter off. That's got a kind of a bluey tint to it, which well, not sure what that does, but this one makes it IR. This one's just a clear, so out of the box I expect it's got the IR sensor going. That's the reason I bought this. But the problem was I couldn't get the eye relief on it. And obviously it wasn't an instant picture, so I couldn't shoot with it. But having seen some of the footage looks good. Yeah, the footage looks good, and the issue doesn't seem to be the actual camera itself. So if I move that to the side, the issue seems to be the bits you get with it. So this is a wrist mount. Now, it doesn't look that big. It does fit, so it will go on my wrist. I do have a fairly large wrist. Let's say that. So if I put it on enough for me to be confident that it's not going to fall off, then that's going to start cutting the circulation on my wrist. And it's got one of those, kind of standard. You loosen off the screw, and then you can move the head around. The other attachment's got the similar way for the camera, but this one has got a standard tripod type screw thread underneath. Both of them, if you loosen them both off and then fit the camera inside like that and then tighten it up, that's how you secure the camera to the mount, like that. Now, for mounting this, for example, if I was to replace the drift on the side of my helmet, what they would expect me to do is, using this male and female Velcro, thread it onto the wrist mount. Like so, and then with using the 3M tape, stick the other Velcro to the side of my helmet. So stick that much Velcro to the side of my helmet. That's not great, is it? So as you can probably tell, I'm not going to do that. I might, in the very near future, put this up against a GoPro on the front of the bike, and the way I'd do that is using the thread on the side here. Just got a GoPro mount with a thread attachment, and I just use it like that. But that's a bit, obviously you wouldn't put that on the side of your head, would you? Yeah, so that's how you. So to me, the camera, and what I'll show next is I'll show the camera against the Session. I'll do a side by side of the Session. The camera footage looks good. It's just the mounts which are rubbish, which is what would put me off using this. Unless this gave me a great deal better quality video footage, I wouldn't replace anything I'm using currently with it. It's probably a good supplement if I can get it somewhere, because it's quite small. I might be able to get it in places I can't get something else. So it might be a good supplement video for something, but I don't think it would be a main camera. I may be wrong. Yeah, but anyway, I'll show you the footage now.
not